Hey guys, it's Love and Info with Love and Info. Biggest sensation on YouTube yet. So, yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna make a video after this one, hopefully today, about why it's been taking me so long to get back into my videos this time around. See, I may be gone sometimes, and I don't have excuses for anybody, nor have to explain myself, but I feel like if I'm gonna document, which is what I'm doing, the path to my glory, I have to let you guys know what's really going on every time so that you guys won't assume, and therefore everything, all the information will be correctly and the whole process will be filmed and documented accurately. So today, here's the subject. We are going to talk about gangs. So, gang banging. What are these people looking for? Why do they do what they do? I don't fucking know. I really don't know. Homer Simpson said once, it's because they're stupid, Lisa. That's why everybody does absolutely everything. Ooh, I almost forgot something. The ring. Yes. Anyway, so a lot of the times we forget that ultimately we are looking for the same thing, which is connection and to be accepted. Many people do it in different ways, and we sit here and we judge it. A lot of times we judge other people's religion, other people's approach to reality, other people's journey for connection. And I think one of the most toughest ones is to go on your life and be a gangbanger. Now, we have to acknowledge where these people come from. And we have to accept that a lot of the times we're put, whether it's geographically or within social status or with a race, or with the mid-class, lower class, whatever the fuck class, we're placed in certain things in life where our options seem to minimize, and the system has set it up so that we look from a perspective in which we only have one way or another, but it's not always black and white. Anyway, let me stop blabbering. So, to get to the root of why I wanted to make this video. So, me growing up, I am from Tijuana, Baja California, Murua, right under the Otay. Gangbangers was always a thing. And there were always, I always looked at it as violence and everything, but from my perspective of a, 6-year-old to like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, I've always remembered the little hoodlums for my community being very protective. They were there to protect and serve their community. They will fuck shit up everywhere else, and they will come all fucked up from their, battle wounds. I've seen motherfuckers with machetes on their heads and all kinds of shit like that. But did I ever feel threatened by them? No. Let me tell you guys a couple of experiences. So, when there will be gang stuff going on where, it was one against the other ones and blah, 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 or they were robbing again, around the neighborhood, robbing the kids who would get off the bus, robbing the people that would get off the trolley, the calafia, which is the bus down there. You know what these people would do? The thugs from our community will wait for the people at the bus stop, and especially the kids. I remember a couple that walked me home a couple of times, or like this other time, this dude was being a perv. So we own a store in Mexico. We got robbed more than a couple times. Never by someone from the actual hood. So there was this dude who came into the store and was being a fucking perv. And he was pulling out his wiener behind the thing, and there was like a child looking at him, which was me, and then my mother and an old lady. I don't know what the fuck he was getting off to. He was weird. Bottom line, my mom catches him, so she pulls out her bat on him, and she fucking chases him down the street. As soon as my mom leaves the store, guess who comes? The neighborhood hoodlum. He comes in running. He goes, "Are you okay? You want me to go get him?" Just like that. Whether they were expecting something back or not, these people are looking for unity. They're looking for that safetyness that society couldn't give to them. So they're building it on their own with their own resources, however they fucking can. Do I approve any of the stuff they do? Who the fuck am I to approve shit? Do I think it's stupid? I think it's fucking stupid. Do people from other, more developed societies than ours or than mine, or with a more expanding mind, think that whatever I'm doing or whatever process I'm doing is stupid? They most likely fucking do. And that is okay. So, another experience that I had with all of this. Growing up, when I first got to the U.S., I first moved Well, I first moved to like North Park area, which was like a predominantly gay white area back then. I lived for a couple of months, not much influence in my social structure in my building. I was 13 years old, and then I moved down to Logan Heights. Logan Heights, I mean, you can find that on Gangland from the fucking from Discovery Channel, you know, and it was to the point where I saw gun shootings all the time. I would talk to these people all the time. I see their stories. I lived with them. I lived their stories. I lived among them, and they were very fucking accepting. The whole gay thing is it's not, as long as you're a man. You know, it's weird. It's weird how it's accepted in at least in the Mexican gang community. I don't know about, there's different, you know, there's Chinese mafia, there's fucking Russian mafia, there's fucking, you know, black people. Like, I don't fucking know. But bottom line, I started experiencing that. You know what these people used to call me? They used to call me Joto. I have friends for 15 years that to the day they call me Joto. Joto means faggot. But they didn't, because I was myself, and they respected my courage, they respected my identity, they respected that I was a hustler. I was all about my money back then, bitch. I was all about that money, I was all about the drugs. These people would come to my door, or to wherever I was staying at in the morning, and ask me for a nug of weed, ask me for a friend of this, I was moving big shit. For no fucking reason. Bottom line, I got to feel how much of a community this was, and how tight they were, and how one way or another, whether they fuck each other up or not, they will also protect themselves. And more important than anything, they respect their values, whether they were completely incoherent or not. These are people that have and stand for their own faith. They're willing to do anything and put up with anything in order to defend their beliefs. Now, once we get to that point of understanding their perspective is when we start getting all these blockings, because we're like, well, why the fuck would they do that? Why would they pick that? Remember where everybody comes from has such an influence in who we are and where we go. Now, it's up to you to change it, yes, but a lot of the times the system has its fucking ways, you know what I mean? So, another example, I've been to jail a couple of times. The last time that I went to jail, it was for a DUI. I'm paying my dues. I just got on my DUI class this morning, by the way. Please don't drink and drive. It's fucking horrible. The classes are fucking... Well, actually, I'm getting a lot out of the classes. They're actually pretty great. But don't do it. It costs you a lot of money, you know, a lot of fucking money. You could just drink and not drive with all the money that you're spending for that. But anyway, bottom line. I've always heard about politics and societies being built inside of jail, and how they worked in prison, and how these people live their lives so tightly with this intent of order that has developed from their personal chaos on the streets. You know, it's more than common sense, people, that if someone is looking for order and they have set rules, it's because they are looking for safety, because they're tired of not being able to rely on their own, or not having anything. You know, that's what we all look for this. So a lot of the times whenever you see someone and you're like, oh, he's a fucking hoodlum, he's a fucking this, he's a fucking that. No, bitch. He's a lonely motherfucker just like you and I, that has had some fucked up decisions, and nobody's now taking the time to fucking put him somewhere else, and he has to do it all. It's just, I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying, you know. And anyway, so I go to jail, blah blah blah, and politics didn't affect me much. Every time I went to jail, I was classified as a paisa, or a sureño, or whatever. But it was, you know, I sit with the Mexicans; they were all kind of nice to me, blah blah blah. And then whenever I went to jail in Riverside, I was put in where all the rats and the fags are. I forgot what it was called, and so there I didn't experience any of it. And then I go to jail here in San Diego, and it's like almost there, but not really. And then this last time that I was there, oh my fucking god, I almost got my ass beat because of eating a fucking Twinkie out of this homie's hand that I saw there, and he was black, and I almost got my ass beat over it. I was like, can a nigga eat a Twinkie? I couldn't, not from a black person's hand. It was mind blowing to me. And I got to understand the need of these people for a structure. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, a familiar face, someone I know. You know, I've seen him in jail before. I've seen him in jail before, so I'm like, hey, how are you? You know, this is George Bailey, not downtown. So when I met him was downtown, and now I'm in George Bailey because I got transferred because my court was around that area. So I get to George Bailey, and politics are heavy up in that motherfucker. Okay? So they're explaining the rules to me, and they're like, this is the tables. These are the tables. This group are the Mexicans, this group are the white, and this group are others. If you walk from table A to table B, you can't just walk. You have to walk. Because if you go across the tables, you get your ass beat. So there's all these people walking around in circles on the tables, and I see this motherfucker that I know, so I start walking next to him. All eyes on me, because I'm talking to the black person. And, of course, most of the eyes that were on me were the other paisas. And he's like, hey, I got a Twinkie, you want some? So he opens up the Twinkie, grabs one out, and hands me the other one. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been eating cookies and fucking oranges for 5 days. Yes, I want a Twinkie. So I grab the Twinkie and I stuff it in my mouth, and I look back, and it looked like I just sucked his dick in front of everybody. Which I will see how they will find disrespectful. I come back, and they sit down to me, and they pull out this book. Okay, handwriting. Very neatly. All of the rules. And then in another page, all of the sentences for breaking the rules. Now, let me tell you the positive impact of the stupid fucking rules. They don't allow you to lay in bed all day. Now, see how much meticulous this is. If you're laying in bed all day, you create a lazy and depressing vibe. They don't want that for you nor for them. So they watch out for the vibe that goes on in there by keeping everybody pumped up. Even though it's illegal to work out in there. But they make you work out every day at least this much. Their bathrooms are super clean. They don't want to spread no disease, no nothing. They coexist. They have meetings. They talk shit out. They don't just go and fight every time. You know, hey, you know what? I don't like the way, the head of the Mexicans and the head of the whites or whatever the fuck gets together. I don't like the way your people are, like, not lifting up the fucking toilet to pee. Like, remember, you have to sit down to pee so there's not pee everywhere. These are actual rules, okay? And so all of this starts, me being the patter collector that I am, I'm noticing all this, and I'm like, these people are so desperate for order. How can you tell me that they need to be reformed? Yeah, they need to reform their fucking order structure. Not by being here, they're not gonna. Because there's no law inside fucking jail. So it just becomes so stupid. The way this whole thing works is just stupid to me. It makes me angry at the system of how they expect people to reform in places like this. It's stupid. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, and god damn it, I've done some stupid shit. But anyway. Enough of my blabbering. We're all looking for connections. We're all looking to unite. The message is simple. Don't let your ego and your pride get in the way. Don't forget, we're all stars and we shine brighter together.